everyone, good to see you. I think this evening is going to be quite interesting, to be honest with you. I'm not quite sure how it's going to work, but we will see how we go. So, as usual, imagine we're in the hall. I've said gather logs, you're around me in the circle. So it is build a dam. Oh, I keep doing those upside down, don't I? At least it looks upside down for me. Hello, Beavers. Give me a B. Give me an E. Give me an A. Give me a V. Give me an E. Give me an R. Give me an S. And what have you got? And what do we have? Whoops, fun. And what do we make? Friends. Hope you were shouting loud. Okay, so I've no idea really what bits and bobs you have got. Hi, Callum. There's a few of you out there. 3 of you apparently today at the moment. Yeah, no idea exactly what bits and bobs you've got, but hopefully you've got at least a sock or two, maybe a wooden spoon, and maybe some of those pipe cleaners you had left over from last week, plus other bits and pieces. So I'm just going to show you a few puppet ideas. If you can follow along, that's brilliant. Otherwise, make your own thing up with what you've got that's similar. But to start with, I'm actually going to show you, I'm hoping you've got a few odd socks, not just the one. If you've only got one sock, then don't cut this one up as I'm going to do in a minute, because you can keep it for your puppet. If you've got a few odd socks you can use, then cut this one up, because I'm going to show you how to make an impromptu face mask in case you need one for the bus. It's not very elegant, but it will do the job if you're caught out and you need something. So take any sock, obviously washed and clean. If you want to buy cheap ones to do it with, that's fine. And you need a decent pair of scissors, so mum or dad might have to help you with this one. And you just cut the toe off. Right, and then you cut down the edge that hasn't got the heel on it. The heel is what's going to go over your nose and mouth. So you cut down that long edge down the front of the sock, in effect. There we go. So now it would open out, and can you see how your nose and mouth might go in that bit? But before you open it out, this is also important. On the fold, not the bit that you've cut, on the fold, a little bit in, you're just going to do a small cut. Don't make that too big to start with, because I have discovered in testing all of this that my ears are actually quite small, and they don't go round very well. So can you see that's made a hole in there, and that's just going to go over your ear, and then you're going to want another hole there. So both sides in the fold bit. Right, take the glasses off now, because I don't need my glasses when I'm out and about. As I say, it's not very elegant, but you can stick them in the wash when you get home. There we go. It's covered your nose and mouth. As I say, I'm amazed how small my ears are. They don't really necessarily fit it round. I think actually inside out might help. Ugh. I've got one I did earlier. It's just a black one, and this fits better. But you get the point. You get the point. That goes over there. That goes over your nose. There we go. That one fits better for me. And then you've got an easy face covering for the bus if you need it. And, as I say, it'll go in the wash. You can make 3 or 4 out of old socks, or you can buy a cheap pair of new socks, make a whole bundle for the family. And when you get in, it can go in the wash and be used again, because the whole point of those face masks is that they are disposable. It's no good using one mask and popping it on and off every time you go out. Because if you pick something up in it or whatever, then you're going to get things on your hand and that'll be near your face. And so one use they are, those masks. When you take them off, they go in the bin. So if you successfully make a sock one, but it's not elegant, but if you're caught out and you're stuck, then it might do the job. Okay, now then, on to the real sock. We are going to make, oh, I forgot I hadn't put those eyes on. We're going to make sock puppets to start with. So you need your sock, nothing cut out of it this time. There are two ways of doing your sock puppet. As you put your hand in, you can put your thumb in the heel and your hand into where your foot goes. And that is instantly, you see how that's instantly made a puppet, because your thumb and the heel bit makes the mouth opening. So that's your basic one. We're going to do that one first, although I have made a little adaptation because I'm going to turn this one into a snake. Okay, so I'm just going to turn the camera down so you can see the table. There we go. I'm going to take my puppet off. So this is the one where you put your hand in, your thumb goes in the heel, and your hand goes in where your foot would normally go. Okay. So take him off to start with, just so you know which way around that is. Now then, I'm going to turn this into a snake. So if you've got some odd bits of cloth or felt, or maybe some buttons, or some googly eyes. If you're lucky and you've got some googly eyes, I'm using googly eyes for another one later, so I'm not using them on this one. But if you've got lucky and you've got some googly eyes, you can just stick them on like that. Look, that's a doddle, that is. Otherwise, cut yourself some felt. I'm going to, as I say, I'm making this a snake, so he's looking a bit sinister, really. So cut yourself some felt, 2 bits of whatever colour you want, really. I've done red and white. Nice long sort of oval shapes with pupils in the middle. And they are going to sort of stick diagonally. I'm going to put those on like that. So they're looking a bit sinister. They're going a bit diagonal. Now you can use a bit of PVA if you've got. I'm cheating, I'm afraid. I've got some sticky dots. Although I don't know where they've gone. They were in a pile here. Oh, there they are. I've got some little sticky dots, and I'm afraid I'm going to be very lazy. And I'm going to stick... Let's put the glasses back on. That would help. Hi, Ruben. Hope you all got bits and pieces. As I say, you may not do exactly what I do this evening, because it depends what bits and pieces you manage to gather. So I've got some sticky dots. If you've got PVA glue, then just put a dab of glue to stick the whites in the middle, and then the same. I'm just going to have a couple of sticky dots on the back of those bits of felt to stick him onto the sock. Whoops. And unusually, the white bits of paper are coming off quite easily. You beavers who have been with me for a while will know that I can take forever to get those bits of paper off the sticky dots and the double-sided tape, can't I? There we go. That's that one down. You do your eyes exactly as you like. If you've got buttons, you could stick them on. If you've got googly eyes, you stick them on, obviously. Sometimes I had eye stickers in the hall. I'm not sure if any of you remember those, or if we've used them, in fact. Right. So, he's now looking quite sinister-y snake-like, isn't he? But there's something missing for a snake, and that's that long forked tongue, isn't it? And I have a bit of a trick for that. So I am seriously hoping that you guys have got some pipe cleaners left from last week, because a pipe cleaner tongue is exactly what this snake needs. But in order to achieve that, you need, can you see I made 2 little holes in the inside of his mouth there? You will need a small pair of scissors to do this. And obviously you don't do it whilst your hand's in there. Work out, put your puppet on, have a look in his mouth and work out roughly where his tongue would need to come out from. And then take it off again. So it does help if you've got a sock like mine at the minute with some pattern on the bottom there, because I could tell it wanted to be somewhere near that white dot. And then you either poke the point in and make, or just do a very small snip and make 2 little holes. And then you can thread your pipe cleaner through like that, so it is attached to the inside of his mouth. And then exactly like we did for, I know we did something at the beginning, making something out of pipe cleaners, just twist it round and round and round and round and round. Here we go. Keep going, keep going, keep going. I haven't made mine quite even, but it almost is. And then at the end, just fork it out like you see in the pictures of snakes. Then, when you put your hand back in, you've got his tongue. You've got those sinister eyes, and you've got his tongue. Shh. Hiss, 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 hiss. Coming to get you. Okay, so that's your first sock puppet. As a snake. It might be worth catching the end of that tongue with a little bit of PVA glue, maybe. I'll try that whilst you're getting on with something. I'll see if one of my sticky dots will catch that down. It probably won't, actually. I don't suppose it'll be strong enough. But let's have a go and see. A little bit of PVA glue would probably be better. I'm guessing or hoping you guys have got some of that. I have a pathological hatred of PVA glue, but there we go. Right, has that done anything? Oh, it has done something. Yeah, I think it's done something. Just hold it in place a bit. There we go. Okay, so that is one possibility for your sock, to make a snake puppet. And as I say, if you've got, I think his tongue is probably a bit long. You might want to cut your pipe cleaner down a little. But it's quite fun having a funky purple tongue sticking out. Okay, so that is one possibility for a sock. Now, if you've only got one sock with you, then obviously anything else I do now, you will have to make it another time, or while there isn't, you have to make it another time. So there's a snake. If you don't want a snake in your production or presentation, then turn him into something else. But that is the easiest way, as I say, with the thumb in the heel. And it just makes a very simple puppet. So I'm going to pop Snakey up there. The other method for your sock puppet is to use the sock the other way up. So you put your hand in. I've had to make it in advance, so it's not a lot of help really. But if you put your hand in with the heel on the top this time, on your other sock, and then you can poke the toe of your sock right inside, and that gives you, your thumb goes underneath that bit, and that gives you a really open mouth. And then the heel stands up. This is a bit Wallace and Gromit. The heel stands up for the eyes. Can you see? The heel is then on top of your hand, and it can stand up for the eyes. And as you can see, I've put googly eyes on this one. So you stick some eyes on the heel. And I'm really lucky. I had a little craft set that Dory left behind with lots of pom-poms and things like that in it. So I've stuck a little pom-pom on for his nose. He sits on my knuckles. That's his eyes. And then I haven't got something. Here we go. Let's use a pen. Because you've got such a big gapey open mouth, you can actually sort of pick things up with this one. You could, in your story or in your presentation, you could pretend he was drawing something or carrying something, because it's a lot easier. Or you could gobble up some sweets. I haven't got any sweets on my table here, but you could pretend he was eating the sweets and actually take one. Nom, 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 nom. Yum. See, I'm a bit mischievous because I've got a big mouth and I can gobble things up. Okay. So they're your two possibilities with your sock. Are any of you actually managing to do any of this, or are we just watching and making later? Not quite sure what equipment from my list of stuff you managed to get. But they're two possibilities. And obviously you can come and watch the video again later if you need to remind yourself. He's quite cute, really. Right, so there's two possible sock puppets. Now we're going to move on to the wooden spoon. If any of you got a wooden spoon. We finished one. Oh, brilliant. We're trying to make the snake. Brilliant. Excellent, excellent. I'll give you a bit more time then. Give you a bit more time to finish off on those. How many of you did actually manage to get a wooden spoon as well? Has anyone out there got a wooden spoon available? I was lucky. I managed to have, this is one I use. Obviously, you can tell I've used it because it's got burnt patches and whatever. But my finished article one was a clean wooden spoon from a set that I hadn't managed to or hadn't bothered to use. So, whilst we wait, actually, just to see if give me the heads up that you've finished your socks. But the other simple way of doing puppets, if you want to do your presentation, you could do going on a bear hunt or something with these ones. Is well, I've got these little picnic wooden forks. What I wanted was lolly sticks, ordinary lolly sticks, and for some reason I haven't got them at home. I think they're probably in the cupboard at church, in the Beaver cupboard. And then get yourself, there's various things like this probably in the range. The range is open now, and you could certainly order them online. I picked these up for their well done, you worked well this evening, and then of course lockdown came and we haven't been on site. So obviously, very, very simply, you just, because these are all self-adhesive, just take them off and stick them on. And then you've got some little finger puppets. You can do what you want with those. If you wanted, you could retrieve one of those pipe cleaners. Just cut a bit off. Wrap it around. And you've got a very simple little puppet you could do a story with. And I say going on a bear hunt because this set I got, I didn't realise till I opened them that this set has got these, which I think could be the bear. So you could make a whole Is he the right way up? No. Help if I checked he was the right way up. There we go. That could be your bear. There's one person going on the bear hunt. Oh, jolly good. Wooden spoon. So I'll get onto the wooden spoon one in a minute when I've given people a chance to finish off their socks. I'm just filling time here really with this one. I don't expect you all to have ready done smiley faces, but if you see them out and about. There we go. We'll give them all arms, shall we? So let's, ouch. That's why you have to be careful. Right. There we go. There's a very easy and quick set of 3. We're going on a bear hunt. Well, you'd have to put the bear somewhere else, obviously. And if you wanted to turn them into finger puppets, just wrap a elastic band around your finger. Do that bit first. That's a lot easier. And then just poke your puppet stick down there. And it's a finger puppet. And you could have 2 or 3 or however many. Okay, that was a little extra. Now we'll go on to the wooden spoon. Okay, this could be entertaining. Again, it depends what you've got, but the face is going to be the flat bit that's pointing outwards, not the bit where you spoon things up, but the other side. So it's got a bit of, well, points outwards like your face, basically. And I have, on my one, I've used my googly eyes. So I put a couple of googly eyes. And I've used pipe cleaners to make a nose and a mouth. I used double-sided tape to stick it down, but again, your PVA glue will do it nicely. And on this occasion, I found a bit of, I think it's Easter egg wrapping. I thought, oh, you know what? We'll have shocking blonde hair. But you could use wool, you could use paper, you can use whatever you've got. That was the whole point of saying just grab what you've got. Okay, so make your face on the underside of the spoon, not the bit that you actually would scoop things up with. So make your face on that side of the spoon that curves outwards, not inwards. Okay, so you can get started on that. Anyone who's got a spoon. Let me know if you need to see another bit of one of the sock puppets or want to see it again whilst you're making. And again, I'm not sure what you've got for clothing for your spoon puppet. I had some felt at home, so I've just got a simple square of felt. I haven't cut it at all, haven't been fancy, just a square of felt. And the way I attached that was to put some double-sided tape just around the neck. Whoops, let's get in camera. Just around the neck of the spoon. Okay. And those pipe cleaners came in handy again, as you can see. Take one pipe cleaner and wrap it around, and that's going to make their arms. Again, you might want either knot it properly, sort of put it through a loop so that you can knot it on there, tie it on there, or maybe a dab of your PVA or a sticky pad just to hold it. So that's how you put their arms on. And again, you're just going to want, as I say, the double-sided tape around the neck to hold the cloak. And then you literally just wrap your piece of felt from the middle, round there and round there. Now then, you will notice when you do that the arms are now stuck underneath your cloak. So a lot like you did with the sock, you need to work out roughly where you need the hole and just nick a tiny little hole in your felt or your material and push the arms through. And then let's put the camera up a bit. There we go. And then your arms will come through the coat when you've got arms. And again, it's entirely up to you what you do, how you do the hands. Once again, I was lucky. I've got my little pom-pom bag, so I've just used my sticky dots and put a couple of little pom-poms on the end there. And then you have your spoon puppet. And you can make as many of those as you want to do a puppet show if you've been finding your presentation difficult. Let me put my other puppet on. There we go. Got my dog puppet. And we're going to go for a walk, are we? Or are we going to do Wallace and Gromit? Or are we going to, I don't know, what's your favourite stories? The Hungry Caterpillar? You could make this one a caterpillar instead of the dog. And then it could be a hungry caterpillar and go eating everything. That would be fun. I'd like to see that. Or don't know, all sorts of things. Depends on your favourite books, really. Or one of your computer games. Could you somehow act out some of your computer games with some of these puppets? I have no idea. I'm sure your imagination will get you going. Okay, so that's those ones. And then, right as I was finishing today, practicing off and working out what to do, the other very obvious and easy one is a paper plate. If you've got any paper plates, because you could decorate them up and then just put them in front of you as the characters in your story. So each character would have a different plate, and then you could talk and say your part. And I've made a very, very simple. It's as simple as it comes because it was a very last minute thought. But again, it's used those pipe cleaners because they're so useful. So these are her plats. Just draw a face with marker pens or your colouring pens. The pipe cleaners will just push through because you've got the bit of metal on the end, or at least those brown ones did. This yellow one, oh yeah, yellow one's going now. This yellow one doesn't actually seem to want to. Must be a thinner one. But if not, make a little hole first and then just push them through your paper plate. And you can do as much hair as you want. Or you could just colour your plate. If you haven't got any other equipment, grab a paper plate and just make different people and faces. And then when you're doing your puppet show for your presentation, for your last creative performance is the word I want, isn't it? I keep saying presentation. Your last bit on your creative badge is the performance. So if you want to use your puppets for a performance, then and you haven't got a wooden spoon and the sock hasn't worked, and then just buy a cheap pack of paper plates, make lots of different characters, and then when they're talking, hold them up in front of your face and be them in the story or whatever performance they're doing. Okay, I think that's it, guys. Oh, she's lost her nose. My double-sided tape is not working too well. Are there any questions before I leave you happily making puppets galore, ready to send me a performance and a puppet show? There's nothing coming up. I look forward to seeing all those pictures of snakies or caterpillars or whatever. So bye from the snake. Bye for Mrs. whatever her name is. Don't know what her name is. Granny somebody. Granny Spoon. Bye from Granny Spoon. Oh, 2 sock puppets and lolly stick fingers. Well, there's no keeping you lot back, is there? And bye from almost Gromit. Take care. Have a good week. And I'll see you next week. So, GOODBYE. Goodbye.